Woo! So today on Dixie Rick's Adventures, we are at the Moon Rocks. Yeah. Quite a few things out here I wanted to show you. We'll start off with some petroglyphs. Out here, it's a lot of history, from dinosaur tracks to the ancestral Pueblans. The Native Americans used this place a lot, and then so did the pioneer settlers, because the honeymoon trail came through over there, and then there's a spring that pops up. I don't know if you could see. There is a giant cottonwood, and the spring runs for about a mile. So there's always water here, no matter what time of year. And over here we got the T-Rex. I'm back up a little bit and we'll be able to see his eye. Let's see the whole thing. Yeah. Right over here on the other side of the T-Rex are some petroglyphs. If you notice, his headdress is kind of shaped exact same way as the goat's tail and horns on that one. You come down here in the shade, got a bunch more figures, and the lighting's kind of off right now, so it's hard to see them. There's a bunch of goats. Their horns are curved down. So we'll go right over here in the Moon Rock. I'll show you something that's really cool. It was left by the pioneers, and it was put on the rock with dirty axle grease from their wagons. And I've studied this thing over and over and over, and I'll tell you what I think about it, and you guys can tell me what you think about it. Underneath here, it's nice and shady. This big cliff overhang. Oh, it looks neat. Also, we got the crescent moon. Some kind of a line and something going through it. That might have been a signature for like one of the pioneers, how they branded their cattle, or the signature for the ranch. Not sure about that. But this up here, if you put a compass on it, it's north, south, east, and west is that cross. Then the circle represents the sun, and then the planets around the sun. If you notice, one of the planets has a little dot next to it like a moon. So let's count them, starting at the top right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can't tell if that's 1 dot or 2 dots for 8, but I don't know if those are the planets, and that's the moon to our Earth. But yeah, if anyone has any ideas or seen that symbol before, let me know. It's really cool, and it's covered real well by this rock, so that'll be there forever. It's not like the other ones that kind of get washed off, which I'll show you in a little while down here at the spring. So we'll come up through here and show you some more ancestral Pueblan stuff. treacherous. I got through there. We come out here at night and find the rattlesnakes. Great Basins are out looking for food. There's a lot of people come here and visit, and they, drop crackers and whatnot, which brings the mice, and then, of course, brings the snake. Well, I probably got to be careful in these little shaded areas. Let's see here. So right up here are some really neat grinding stones. Well, I guess it's one big stone and they're grinding holes. But yeah, they're super smooth, all different shapes. And, it's about 6:30 at night right now, so the sun's setting behind me. But most of the time during the day, this big overhang shades this area. So I imagine them being able to have some shade and shelter and whatnot during the middle of the day. Oh yeah. All right, so now I'm going to head over there to the spring, show you a bunch more petroglyphs, some other neat stuff. Well, I keep it a secret for right now, and some pioneer stuff. All right, over here, we're at the fort. I want you to notice these walls. So these walls were built as a defensive structure, so they're higher and lower in some spots, so that the Mormon militia would have a place to hide and probably try to fight the Native Americans that were here at the time for the water rights. That's what it seemed like they did a lot of times, is they come in and they just take over their area, take over their water at different springs. So I don't know if there was ever a battle here or what happened, but these walls are still here and they're really cool. And you could just picture someone sitting here covered all the way up, but having these areas to shoot out. And look at that, they used the river rock, and right there in the river rock is a seashell imprint. There's all these little divots in the wall, little shooting ports. And right up there is the roadway. There we go. And there's not a lot standing like it used to be. A few years back, kids came in and they really tore down a bunch of the walls, kicked them over and stuff. But the fort was supposed to be in the shape of a cross, but as they're building it as a defensive structure to fight for this water, it didn't quite work out the best way. So it ended up being in the shape that it is, which is almost a cross, but not quite. Since this spring's been here forever, I'm sure there's been just thousands of years of inhabitants. And there's petroglyphs all along this cliff line, show proof of that. And I've come down here at equinox, waited for the sun to come up, and watched them hit the petroglyphs. And there was these four figures that were in a row. And one of the first figure it hits, actually, the sun hits, he's pecked in all the way. He has like little pecks throughout his whole body, when the other ones are just outlines. Well, as the sun moves across him, he kind of disappears from eyesight. It's weird compared to the other petroglyphs; they still show up. And on the spiral that's just down a little ways from him, starts illuminating the shape of his body, like the triangle shape that you see represented out here. Here's a few petroglyphs here. Really cool. I like these here. You got like that guy inside of what they consider a necklace. Got the eyes looking out into a certain direction. And then under here, when we go under here and go through here, come over here, and there's a big grinding hole. It's filled in with dirt. It probably goes down another 4 or 5 inches. You can see how it's spiraled around like they had put water and sand in there and probably took an antler and really worked at that to get that deep. And then they would, who knows, maybe grind up pigments. Definitely the vegetation that's around here, like the wild beans that grow on those mesquite plants and whatever else they would grow. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's see if we can get across this little tiny ledge. Yeah, duck under this. Come over to this one, and this one's completely filled in too, but it goes down deep, probably another 8 inches in that one. So I just wanted to show you some of these Native American things out here. Well, I think I'll go down here and we'll get into the pioneer stuff a little bit. And there's some more petroglyphs down here that you'll enjoy. So I have to find our way down and let's go. Not much of a ledge left. But if I fall, it'll hurt. It won't kill me. A lizard. This place is so cool. I've been coming out here for like 10 years. I don't know how many times I've been here. I've hiked all around, and there's something down here that's really special. It's quite a ways away, so I won't get there today. But it's a pictograph, and it's the largest pictograph here in southern Utah of the 4 that we have. And he's a protector, a guardian, and he faces exactly south. Then there's one over in the Red Cliffs Rec area in Washington, Utah, that he's on the outside of a cave, and he's about, I don't know, maybe a foot tall, and he's also painted in red. And he points exactly east. Now I know there's another one on Smith Mesa that I think points west, and there's one in Springdale that points north. So that being said, it makes an imaginary like rectangle border of protection, and not a border to say, hey, stay out of here, but a border, to say, hey, this is where you want to be. This is where the water is, the food is, the hunting. You don't have to travel far in each season to find the animals. And yeah, it's just what I get out of it. So I don't know. You tell me what you think, and we'll go through these big bushes here and get to some more stuff. It's really cool out here. I've come across a couple of arrowheads, lots of pottery, and the petroglyphs are amazing. The more and more you go down this cliff line, the more and more panels you find. I mean, they're just covered in petroglyphs and stories. But yeah, when I was up here watching the equinox light show, and I was taking tons of pictures, like time-lapse pictures, I didn't notice until I got back that actually the one guy disappeared and started illuminating his shape over in another spot. And the light was exactly encompassing half of the spiral, representing equal light and equal dark of each day. But anyways, check this out real quick. Right here where I stopped, we got a bat just hanging out in the shade. Should I pet him? Yeah, just kidding. What? Okay. Well, no, we'll leave him be. All right, so right up here, let's see, where'd it go? I zoomed in. Okay. A. Empey, 1891. He was a settler that came across, and that Empey name is pretty famous here. And then G.A. Lytle, 1874. And these are also made with dirty axle grease. And we'll come over here, and you can see that there was some there, but it gets weathered, and rain and wind, and gets blasted, so it's wearing off. So any of the ones that are like that, like under a little overhang, they stay pretty good. Should be there for hundreds of more years for people to enjoy, and the settlers' ancestors can come enjoy it and see where their ancestors left their mark. So right up here, we've got, at the top, it's I don't know, something W, 1857, and then down below it is Martha and Phil Fourmaster, which there's a street right over here named Fourmaster. Goes up over the hill by the hospital. And another petroglyph down here, 1881. So this 1857, that's pretty early, because they didn't actually start coming here until 1854. And that would have been people like Jacob Hamlin as a part of the Indian mission. And then people started coming for the cotton mission. That's Franklin. Another Lytle, G.A. Lytle again. Then up under here, we've got what said chapter. So they're writing their chapters. But right here are carved images by the Native Americans. Oh yeah, okay, I remember what it is now. So it's let's see if I can get it. It's Dixie something chapter, Sons of the Pioneers, May 4th, 1957. So they had a group called the Sons of the Pioneers. Looks like they came back and left their mark. And then if you look right up here, you can see some more petroglyphs and concentric circle. And then over there, zoom in a little bit, got BF Goats, 1883, May 15th. And BF Goats also did his silhouette right here in 1860 something. It's kind of worn off, but isn't that neat? You can totally see a silhouette. Anyways, they all came through the honeymoon trail and they'd stop here at the water. Looks like they'd hang out for a while. Alright, well, Dixie Rick's adventure is over for today. It's really hot. I don't have a lot of time. But next time, I want to come here during equinox, show you a few things of the light and shadow, and we'll make our way up to what they call Red Man, the pictograph. So, goodbye for today. Thanks for watching.